What is up, guys? On the way to San Francisco, like I told you guys before, I'm going to go see John Joe. It is our 8 Sleep event. I love stuff like this. I love getting together, and this is kind of how it all pretty much started, on how I got so close to the Tesla community, is just going to all these events, hanging out, just talking about a bunch of things. But I switched it up, guys. Switched up my cameras. I figured, since I'm going to San Francisco, to kind of give a closer view of the windshield. I think it's kind of cool. I think I might, I don't know. You guys let me know if you guys like this style here. So I'm going to try this out. Seems pretty cool. But just to talk about, San Francisco is a beast on Saturday. I'm on Saturdays, I should say. So I'm really excited to kind of witness how 14.3.4 is. We are in standard mode. I've been testing out standard, watching all the content creators and who kind of push FSD through its limits. I've been paying attention to like Devin's videos. He's always in standard. I'm approaching about 8,500 miles in this thing, so kind of want to preserve the tires. I usually am in Mad Max. I usually go in Mad Max when I go see the San Joaquin team, but this time we're in the Bay Area instead of the Central Valley, which is cool. So we're just headed there. Kind of took a day off yesterday. Just stayed home. Kind of have a busy week. Had jury duty. That was crazy. And then was kind of tired this week. Usually I'm at work between like 3:30 and 4, guys. So in the morning. So sometimes I have like a nice little rest day. That was yesterday. So just hung out at home. Got some stuff done. Did some cool things with my son. And we're watching Monster Jam. That's his thing right now, is just big trucks flipping in the air, which is cool. But I went to the grocery store yesterday. A little weird still on the nav. It just makes you go around stuff that, in my opinion, you don't really need to go around. But that's okay. I know it's going to get worked out, but the overall stack, the update, the way it moves, the way it maneuvers, I say the 14 version stack is, I don't know, I'd say it's slowly building up to confidence, to where, we're going to get to V15, which I think is crazy. This version is crazy itself. Usually standard mode, you know what I mean? Standard mode kind of struggles, but I've been on it, and it's been working amazing. I think it's finally knowing its distance. Obviously, they did a vision update, and then whatever else they did with point 11 on the software side. As for FSD, I mean, this is the ultimate test, guys. Saturdays going to San Francisco is super freaking busy. I want to see how it does through a toll. Usually I hit the Martinez Bridge toll, and it has a huge opening for people to go through. So these ones, not so much. It's a little slimmer. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you guys like the POV of the camera. This is obviously my side, but I'm going to be looking that way. Maybe I might need to buy another mount. I don't know. Probably change it. But yeah, I just wanted to try something different. But we're about 30 minutes out, guys. The story on how I met the San Joaquin group, it started with Tony. Everyone knows that, with the plate. But the one thing about our group specifically is we're always going to events. Not everyone makes it every single time. Obviously, we have our lives as well, but when there is events, we try to make them. And when you make events, right, you're around Tesla owners, and you get to nerd out and just talk about a bunch of stuff. And it's fun to be around. It's obviously super contagious. So this is where it gets really busy, guys. you know, obviously I can't FSD during the week here because I got work, but this is where it gets a little crazy. Like I said, I'm in standard mode right here during the week. I mean, it's freaking insane right here. You can stay stuck for an hour right just here on the freeway, but luckily it's the weekend. You know, FSD knows that there's tolls, so if we go to navigation, check it out. Yeah, I didn't avoid tolls. Obviously, we wouldn't be going this way, but yeah, going back to that, you know, ever since then, you know, Joe's always preached us to be at, you know, events, but we like going to events regardless, right? And they're fun. You know, it gives us a chance to all connect again, and you know, outside of our chat. So you know, I love going to events. You know, they always give me like a kickstart to the beginning of my week, even if it's on a Saturday. You know, you just kind of ride off that, you know, that community, that being together. You know, as for topics during yesterday, I mean, I just caught up on a bunch of like what's going on. Like, actually, let's do our boy Grok. Hey Grok. Hey Grok. Give us some good news today that happened in the USA.
Team USA is advancing to the World Cup knockout round, and President Trump awarded 3 heroes the Medal of Honor today. New York Knicks fans are celebrating their victory parade too.
Nice. New York Knicks. That's what we like. All right, guys, we're going to go through a toll here. Let's see how good FSD does. These are really, 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 really freaking tight. And it does really well. Sweet. Cool. We like that. Yeah, we're getting closer to the Bay Area Bridge. You know, speaking of the Bay Area, born and raised here. You know, I know we make a lot of news for being California, but you know, I was born and raised here. You know, this definitely has changed, but one thing that doesn't change out here is just the community, the diversification, and that's a word. You know, being able to the culture out here, and you know what it's brought out outside of California. You know, besides the noise that's happening here, you know, I still appreciate it out here. You know, I'm from here. I was born here. You know, so I love the Bay Area, man. It's a city that, you know, if you're from here, that you understand. You know, obviously it's changed over time, but I believe, you know, it will get better. You know, so shout out to all my fellow Bay Area natives. Shout out my boy Omar, who stays out here as well. You know, it's just a city, or just in general, the Bay Area is just an interesting city. It's fun. You know, growing up here, you know, you got to see a lot. It's one of the only cities you can go city to city, right? You could be in so many different cities within an hour while driving, you know, depending on traffic. But, you know, being able to come out here, you know, with the Silicon Valley crew and, you know, the San Joaquin crew, it's going to be fun. You know, this is kind of where all Tesla started too. San Carlos, we're not too far from there. You know, there's a lot of history in the Bay Area, from the iPhone to Google. You know, the list goes on of many tech companies. So, you know, I enjoy and, you know, embrace that this was created out here, which is super cool. But here's the bridge, guys. This is why I switched up the view. It's coming up. This is obviously not too old. This is newer. You know, I remember when they were building this bridge, and even my dad and mom were like, man, that is freaking nuts that they're putting a new bridge. Cool design. Obviously, the most famous one's the Golden Gate Bridge. Could have took that way, but I just let FSD choose the route. It's a little hot today, guys. Not like that, but On the news they said that CHP is going to be cracking down. So before I started filming, I saw a lot of that. A lot of sports cars, unfortunately. One of them I felt bad. It looked like he was just enjoying the ride with his lady, and he got pulled over. So, it's one of those this weekend. Don't drive crazy in the Bay. They're watching. But, you know, uh, referring back to Silicon Valley, man, we made so many videos. I met that guy through an event. I mean, obviously the theme here is an event. I met him at Ceramic. Super humble guy, man. I was a little nervous meeting him. Obviously, he has a very big platform, but nah, he's not like that at all. I made that obviously judgment for myself, and humble dude, man. He's fun to talk about, and like I said in my last video, it's just not all about Tesla. We talk about personal things and things we're going through, and give each other advice. So made a couple videos with him in the FSD Chronicles series, from getting to know him, and he rode in the Model 3. Same thing with Joe. Rode in his Colossus. That thing's a beast. These two guys, man, they got so much knowledge, and being able to connect with them together is even more powerful. But I hope you guys are enjoying the views. As a kid, being in San Francisco, it was fun, depending on what kind of mood my parents were. We either drove here or took the ferry. Ferry is kind of rare because it's super cold. Usually you like to take the ferry really, really early in the morning because there's always a rush of people. But yeah, this is iconic bridge, iconic city. It's an interesting place. A lot of things happen out here. I do a lot of we work out here too. I've been to a couple buildings I can't really name out here, but work on their HVAC, which is cool. It's cool to see the tech, and they also take care of us as well when we come out here to take care of their HVAC. So San Francisco, guys. I kind of wanted to talk about my video that I dropped yesterday, FSD Chronicles 40. I think it was probably the first time I ever kind of not freestyled it. That's 40 videos that I made. And, for all the content creators out there, it's a grind, but it's a grind that, and I love. I think it's really fun. The editing part, this time I kind of actually had like an agenda. Usually I like to do my videos just kind of freestyle, kind of see what happens with the mood. But this time I was like, you know what? I'm actually gonna think about this video since it was 40. And I've kind of watched how people do FSD videos, take notes myself, and that's kind of what I did. And yeah, I mean, it's a cool style. Maybe I'll do it every now and then, but freestyling is kind of, in my opinion, more rewarding because you just don't know what happens. But we're in San Francisco, guys. I've never FSD'd in San Francisco. It's about 9:25 in the morning, so it might not be too busy. But we'll see, guys. We will see how this goes. I've never driven the Tesla out to San Francisco. A lot of people test in heavy traffic areas for the videos, so this is it right here. This is the city to do it in. A lot of bikes, electric bikes. I mean, there's a lot of action here is pretty much what I'm saying. But hopefully you guys are enjoying the view. I know how crazy this is for some people that are not from the Bay Area. Like I said in all my videos, guys, if there's certain parts of the Bay Area that you want me to FSD through, let me know. If there's any scenic, trying to convince wifey, maybe the Yosemite will go or something. Kind of want to do maybe like a vlog style FSD Chronicles, just to see different areas. But yeah, guys, if you're not from California and you always wanted to see what San Francisco is, this is why I put it on my windshield so close. Get it up close and personal, all the pedestrians and everything that's going on. So this is the city that gets crazy during the week. I don't know if I could do an FSD video during the week. I mean, when you're out here, I mean, dude, it is nuts. Like, these lights don't matter. It's the pedestrians you have to watch and take care of. And I can't wait to see more and more robo taxis and cyber cabs out here. It's going to be nuts to see that. But yeah, it's crazy, right? And we're in San Francisco going to the event, and we have 6 miles left until we get there, right? Biker, not paying attention. 6 miles, but it's going to take us 25 minutes. That's kind of the perspective you guys get on this drive. It's going to be a long video. Look, try to avoid a pothole there. This is nuts, guys. I mean, I think about so much of my childhood while this car drives me around, and just remembering all the road rages from my uncles coming up from LA, or my own parents, because it gets hectic. It gets really hectic out here. I think we're kind of at the more quiet hour of the day, but about, I don't know, in 2 hours you'll see this place fill up and get freaking insane. And it just, this for retrospect, if I have to be at this in San Francisco by 6 a.m. for work, I got to be here an hour earlier than that, because contractors garbage can handled it well. You got other contractors fighting for parking, and parking in San Francisco, if you are from here in the Bay Area, it is scarce. Not a lot of people have cars here. That's why I believe having the robo taxi here, a lot of people Uber, Waymo. Hey, look, speaking of Waymo, they do their thing out here. So yeah, I'm so excited for this drive. It's bringing back so many memories as a kid of pedestrians walking. Yeah, look at that. Got a little freaking forklift over there. It's freaking insane, guys. I'm just as excited as this video is filming. So if my reactions are like, what the heck? It's my first time FSDing in San Francisco. San Francisco is busy, but I think right now we got a little lucky. Let's see. Okay, that Honda. I thought I was going to try to overtake, but nope. It made its left. So we're in standard mode, guys. Going up this hill. If you guys can get a closer look than I am. Let's see what FSD does here, guys. This is where FSD does a lot of its testing. Some of the couple of the Robotech or cyber cabs have been spotted out here, so our stack should know this stack. Yeah, we're going up a hill, guys. Check this out. These are the streets of San Francisco. Look how steep this is, and FSD's like, I got it. All right. Ooh, look at that. Handled it well. We got a guy on a bike. He went that way. Yeah, guys, these are the streets of San Francisco, man. You can go. There's way more that are way steeper than this. Being in my work van, I have so much weight. When I'm going downhill, sometimes I have to like pull my e-brake at a light because all the weight is starting. Look at this guy. What are you doing? FSD, baby. Look at that. There you go, guys. That's one thing that happens here. Now imagine this whole like street completely full of cars like moving. People make sudden movements, and what better way to test FSD right now? This is so cool, guys. Being able to do this, and just being able to handle it. Like the way it went uphill, it didn't jerk me at all. It handled it well. We got a FedEx truck ahead. That's with its hazards on. So let's see what FSD does. But yeah, man, it's freaking crazy, guys. It's freaking nuts. But we got about 19 minutes. So hopefully we can go till the end. I'm just enjoying the ride, guys. Just just embracing FSD, because I'll be honest, guys, a lot of people that drive in San Francisco, you know, they get, and look at that, boom, saw that with the hazards, we're moving on standard, by the way, guys, just want to let you guys know that. But you know, seeing this, and you know, I've walked probably all of San Francisco, being from here. Being able to film this for you guys means a lot for me, man. You know, the Bay Area is a fun place to be from. You know, and it's crazy to see FSD just handling these roads. I used to run around as a kid with my parents, family that would come up from LA. So it's like a full circle moment, guys. It's pretty freaking cool. So we are, what street are we on? We're on Pine Street. But you know, and speaking of my childhood, you know, joining the military was probably the other biggest accomplishment for sure. That's how I got in the trade. I took my ASVAB, and they're like, holy crap, you're mechanically inclined. And at that time, I was so young, you know, my parents had to sign a waiver for me to go because I was still 17. And I ended up going, and it was the best decision of my life. And that's how I got into HVAC, was through that opportunity, because my recruiter actually helped me out. She was awesome. She gave me really good advice, and you know, she's like, well, you're 17, you got your whole life ahead of you, so if I were you, I would join a trade if you don't know if you're going to be in the military. And yeah, HVAC's kind of always been around for me. You know, I've been doing it since right out of high school, and it's a blessing and a curse as a trade. You know, it's a great trade, but it also requires a lot of skill, learning, dedication, sacrifice, kind of like what I'm doing now, right? Recently, a couple years ago, got my journeyman license. So not saying that I made it, but you know, at some point in life, something you do every single day just kind of feels like a routine. And you know, I wanted to find a new hobby, and this is what it is. FSD videos, helping people out, connecting with people, doing community stuff with others, and you know, just showing what community is all about, man. And you know, full circle moment, I'm in a city that when, you know, I was younger, man, it's crazy to see FSD run through this, which is great, man. So you know, the military taught me a lot, you know, patience and just how to operate, move, react, you know, survive and all that stuff. You know, it was the best decision I made that young. You know, I didn't wait. I just hit the full send, and next thing you know, I was in Texas at 9 p.m. getting yelled at a bunch of by some drill instructors telling me to get the hell out of their bus. And you know, I'd definitely do it all over again for sure. Shout out to all my veterans, man. You know, you guys are definitely pillars as well in our country, and keep us safe, and most of all, keep America at the end of the day, guys. About 13 minutes, guys. I mean, standard is handling everything well. You guys have seen it. The lane switches, it going up the hill. We got a guy on his phone not paying attention. FSD is going to let him go, and then I'm sure FSD sees, nope, he's not coming this way. Love it, guys. Didn't wait until he had it completely cross. He actually he was still getting closer to the curve, and FSD's like, I got you. I ain't going to hit you. But yeah, guys. What are you guys liking about 14.3.4? Where are you guys testing, and obviously other states? What do you guys like to test for? I always like to pay attention to the steering wheel. That's what I like to pay attention to as I'm supervising. Is it jerking? Is it thinking too much? I feel like with the last update, .3, it was a good update, but it kind of regressed on, for one, parking. I feel like with the lines My wife calls them popsicle lines for parking. If they're not just straight up lines, FSD kind of overshoots sometimes and gets into the line. But you know, this update, the way it's been parking, has been parking great, whether front, back. Hey, look, Waymo LiDAR. So yeah, another hill, guys. FSD handling these well. San Francisco has a lot of four-way stops. Look at that. These are some old homes, guys. Some old homes. A lot of history here, for sure. Look at this steep one right here, guys. Here we go. It's like a roller coaster. You're getting ready to go. Woo! All right, now we're getting to the really older Victorian homes. There we go. To be honest, guys, I can't see anything that was going on there because we're at such a weird angle. Nice Model 3 there. But yeah, here we go, guys. Some nice homes. See the ocean over there. Four-way stop again. Can't tell you how many times we're going to do that. There's 1, 2, 3 more. Look at that. We're going downhill. Yeah. Like I said, guys, I can't even see that right there. FSD is handling this perfection. Yeah, so this is where it gets a little crazy, right? This is where some people overshoot as drivers because, you know, FSD can see what's going on because the cameras, but I can't. That's why I'm standing up like this because I can't see that unless I physically kind of push myself up. So that's why I was so excited for this drive. These are some crazy freaking hills. You know, FSD has to do a little extra to, you know, fulfill these stops because we know FSD doesn't roll stop. And here is going downhill now. As you can see, guys, it changes in San Francisco. You can go uphill, downhill, curve, whatever, but it's really cool. I get to share this with you guys. You guys get to kind of see, you know, head first. We're on a 37-mile streak. Here we go again. Sweet. Some nice homes, some old Victorian homes. So you see some people shoot super quick after a stop, but you don't necessarily have to do that. This is where I believe, guys, having the multiple cameras helps. You know, the front bumper camera. So look at that. Oh, man, look how steep this is, guys. This is freaking awesome. You know, so a lot of people ask, you know, oh, look at FSD. A lot of people, look at that, standard. Man, I've seen a lot of standards here. I just haven't really mentioned it. I'm sure you guys see it on the film. But a lot of people ask, my cousin who got his, you know, is all-wheel drive worth it? I always tell people, what are you in it for? Are you going to bring it to the snow? Majority of people from California don't bring their car to the actual snow, and they say they are. You know, I talk to all the advisors, and they always say, man, if you can go real wheel, because obviously it gives you the most range, you can, because we live in California. We don't have snow or anything like that. So my cousin who purchased one, he went with the rear wheel just for the range, you know. And same with us. You know, we're in it for the range. You know, I've had, you know, Jeeps, F-150s. You know, my sister was into cars as well, so you know, my lady and I were in it for the savings and the efficiency. And you know, my cousin's been happy since. He's like, man, he's like, I work in the city, so I always regen a lot, which we just witnessed. I'm so glad FSD chose that route. That was really cool. Obviously, you guys can't feel my reaction or anything like that. Hopefully, you can just kind of tell by my voice, but that was a really cool ride. FSD handled that so freaking smooth, guys. Oh, it looks like we might be going to the Golden Gate. you know what? We're just gonna finish the whole drive, guys. You know, this one might be a little longer than usual, but I think we're going towards that way. I believe. Let's see. Yeah, we actually are. Yep. All right, cool. So yeah, guys, shoot, check it out. Heck yeah. We're headed towards the way. So cool, man. 14.3.4, man. Shout out to Dirty Tesla for pushing this update. If it was you, man. This update's been so good. Excuse me. We've been on a 30-minute drive, guys, and it's haven't disengaged. Went through the heart of the city, went up and down some hills. Didn't have to disengage. FSD handled San Francisco amazingly. Now we're going to go through the tunnel. Man, it's crazy. Like, anytime I'm here, it's for work. And I've driven these routes so many times, and now I'm able to be driven. Here's the tunnel, guys. Yeah, we're going to go on the Golden Gate, I believe. Boom, 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 boom. Heck yeah. FSD seeing all the speed limits changed. Sweet. Heck yeah. That's awesome, man. I saw it change from 35 to 45 because it saw that sign immediately. We got out of the tunnel. Heck yeah, man. Great drive. We love drives like this. Hopefully FSD can do the chef's kiss with the parking. I believe a couple of the guys are there already hanging out, so we should be able to pull up their car on film. But yeah, guys, I'm very excited about this drive. This drive has been awesome. I can't wait for you guys to watch as I post. There's the Golden Gate Bridge there. Yeah, I believe we're gonna hit it. I think so, or hit partial of it. FSD thinking smart. It's gonna change lanes early. That's the name of the game. You know, commuting to the city. Obviously, I got lucky. It's not super busy, but majority of the time this is full of cars. But FSD being smart and, you know, pulling over to our exit now. Look at that standard, guys. We are in standard, and it's just cruising through. Like I said, guys, I think, oh, we're gonna miss the bridge. Will you guys be able to see it? Look at that. Boom. Heck yeah, man. There it is, the Golden Gate. All right, guys, we got 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Yield. Look at that. So freaking smooth, man. So freaking smooth. We should be catching up to the fellers in a second. Yeah, guys, super smooth drive. Like I said, man, hopefully FSD can end this on a good note with parking. I'm just kind of following the address that the guys gave me, so we'll see. But hopefully you guys are enjoying the view. I'm really excited to rewatch the film on this. You know, I was kind of messing with my camera in the beginning before I hit record, just making sure the view is there for you guys. Look at that. Got a beach. Wait, it says. All right. Let's see here. Awesome, man. This is great. This is great. Can't wait to edit this one later, guys. This is going to be a fun one. All right. Got a bunch of cars stopping. Got about a minute left on the drive here. All right. Let's see. Might have to break my streak. We'll see. It's kind of a busy area. Let's see, there's a biker. He's going straight. This is where I said, guys, it gets busy here. This is where it gets a little tricky. You know, some people fight over parking spots. Some people It's crazy. It's a little hectic. Let's see if FSD follows everyone. There we go. We like that. All right, FSD. You're freaking killing it today. And I see the event. Let's freaking kill it. Parking lot. Look at all these people. Look at FSD. Look at Let's freaking go, guys. Look at this. No brake stab. No wheel jerks. Oh my gosh, guys. This is freaking amazing. Let's freaking go. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Oh, man. Oh, this makes me so excited. Look at this. No brake stab. No wheel jerks. That's why I position the wheel or the camera that's facing me this way so you guys can see if it wheel jerks. Man, it did such a good job. Oh my gosh, guys. It drove me all the way here. This is freaking awesome. A+. The boys are right there. The fellers, Joe and John. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, guys. We're here. We're going to enjoy the event. I see the fellas already. I'm excited. So let's see here. Let's see where FSD parks us. Oh, this guy's parking. Oh, look at that. If they had FSD, look at that. Boom. Let's see if Silver Surfer decides to choose where to park here. Oh, man, guys. Parking lot. Where are you going? Here we go. Come on, FSD. End it right. Oh, no. All right. I'll end it here. All right. We'll end it here. Park right here. All right, guys. Well, shoot. I see John and Joe already waving me down. So hit parking here. Yeah. Just going to finish up this video. Appreciate you guys watching. Like I said, please like, comment, and subscribe. And we will catch you guys on the next one.